Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Astrology News Report, an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic Astrology. Presented by yours truly, Ron Berger. Today is August 22nd, 2015. I had to skip last week due to illness. So now, let's take a look at the past couple of weeks and how the planets' positions in the zodiac have been matching up with the recent events. Venus, the planet of love, relationship, agreement, value, finance, and guidance, has been retrograde for nearly 4 weeks now, since July 25th. The retrograde condition makes the planet's significations vulnerable. There have been a lot of examples of what Venus has been going through lately. Here's a sampling of some of them. The planet of relationship, going backwards in the zodiac, indicates going back over, in other words, reconsidering your relationship. That might indicate breaking up or repairing a relationship. Secretary of State John Kerry arrived in Havana a week ago to raise the US flag on Cuban soil for the first time in more than 50 years. Interesting that it happened on the day of the new moon, a time of new beginnings, and a new moon which was, in fact, conjunct with retrograde Venus. Another relationship that has been on the rocks and is going to be reconsidered. In Greece, Prime Minister Tsipras, who only started to lead Greece this year, has resigned and called for new elections in September. The idea here is that the Greeks will be given a chance to reconsider and perhaps reaffirm their relationship with Mr. Tsipras and his left-wing Syriza party. Venus is the planet of value and finance, and was combust the sun while changing signs 2 weeks ago, a sure signal that something was going to happen in the value and finance department. In a surprise move last Tuesday, China devalued its currency, the yuan, nearly 2%, the biggest change in 2 decades. Normally, China strictly controls its currency, which doesn't fluctuate by more than a few tenths of a percent. The immediate effect was to send financial markets worldwide into turmoil. China has been having problems in its economy. By making its currency worth less, it hopes to boost exports. Shockwaves from the August 18th devaluation continued spreading through financial markets even last week, causing stocks, commodities, and Asian currencies to tumble. Note how retrograde Venus with Mars and Jupiter being combust the Sun has put both financial planets in the toilet. Last Friday, stocks had their worst day since the 08-09 financial crisis, with U.S. indexes dropping more than 3%. The bad news is that this situation gets worse during the coming week, as Mars closes in on retrograde Venus, and Jupiter will be in deep combustion. Venus is the planet of relationship and pleasure, and therefore sex. By being retrograde and combined with Mars, planet of destruction, the Venus signification of relationship is at risk. Hackers followed through on a threat and released 9.7 gigabytes of data Tuesday belonging to members of the adulterer social network Ashley Madison. The information posted on the internet included personal account details for more than 32 million users, as well as descriptions of what members were seeking. As the data begins to seep into search engines, The spouses find out what their partner has been up to. Countless marriages are on the line. Mars, planet of destruction, conjunct Venus, the planet of marriage. Mars is the planet of violence and accidents. When it is in its sign of debilitation, Cancer, the potential is for more accidents. 2 weeks ago, a chemical fire caused a huge explosion in the Chinese port of Tianjin that killed over 100 people and injured hundreds of others. Nearly a half-square mile of warehouses were destroyed, including thousands of cars ready for export. Note that the moon was conjunct Mars on that day. The moon adds energy to whatever it contacts, in this case, a destruction-prone Mars. Okay, that'll do it for this week's Review of the Week. You can keep up with daily astrological developments and contribute your own thoughts by following me on Twitter at Astro News Report.